Hello everyone. We have finished off with Locke. So we'll start with JS Mill. But before that, understand this thing. First modern thinker. Now understand till now what we have gone through. Machiavelli. Now what was his major contribution? That he was the first person who gave your nation state. He wanted to create or unify Italy, and whole of your modern political thought is roaming near this concept of nation state, and which is the most important aspect of this nation state concept. It is your sovereignty. So when we are talking about who can we lay claim as the first modern thinker, understand this thing that there is no definite answer to this. You can only lay your claim. Okay, so understand Machiavelli gave your first nation state theory. He talked about nation state because he wanted to unify Italy. He was a patriot. Then we talked about his prince only. And his time was one of the transition time. He was in the time of Renaissance, rebirth. Then there is this thinker, Bodin, and he gave us our first theory of sovereignty. But actually, what Bodin did was he was not able to bifurcate, or let's say unify the bifurcation that was existing at that time. He gave complete territorial sovereignty to the king. He gave complete church, or let's say religious dominance or religious superiority in the matters of faith to Pope. So he has given a theory of sovereignty, but his theory of sovereignty is again bifurcated, king and Pope. Okay, so it is, you cannot say that it is complete theory of secularism or complete theory of sovereignty. So when we come to Hobbes, we see that Hobbes was giving us first complete theory of sovereignty. Whatever his justification may be, or however his approach might be, whether forwarding the notions of capitalist, emerging capitalist classes, or let's say starting as an individualist and then concluding as an absolutist, yet anyhow, he made one thing sure that sovereignty is with state. Even your church is a part of state. Okay, and state is having the complete utter dominance. Okay, so it has been said that while Bodin was standing at the gates of modernity, after this gate there is modernity. So when Bodin was standing at the gates of modernity, it was Hobbes who jumped in. Hobbes who jumped in this gate and he entered modernity. Okay, Bodin was not able to leave his own old medieval ways or thinking. He was not able to leave that thought. Okay, so obviously this first modern thinker is always contested, so no need to dwell into that. So before JS Mill, we'll try to go over Rousseau. Now understand who is Rousseau. He is the person who gave us the let's say slogans, liberty, equality, and fraternity. We find that in our preamble also. Okay, these were the slogans of French Revolution. French Revolution, world history. And why are we going to study Rousseau is because of his theory of general will. We have finished off with our Hobbes, sorry, Locke. And you understand what Locke was supporting was a democracy. He wanted a democracy where state's role was nothing but to provide security. Security for property. That's the sole purpose that he wanted to lay forward. Why? Because by capitalists. They will earn profit. They will earn profit. What will they will do with that profit? They will amass property. Now who needs to give security to this property? State. Justification: that property is your absolute right. You are enjoying that in your nature. It is a natural law. It is a natural right that you have. Okay, so let's try to go into this. Rousseau. Now understand that Rousseau has been called as a paradox thinker, thinker of paradoxes, or let's say very inconsistent thinker. Not even inconsistent, actually his thoughts are very not even general in sense. It is like liberals will also follow it. Liberals will also take inspiration from Rousseau. Socialists will also take inspiration from Rousseau. So it is not like you can completely define him under left or right. It is not there. Everyone can relate to his theories, his thought. Now understand, you want to lay forward democracy, people's rule, liberty, fraternity, equality. You take inspiration from that. Then again, if you want to be a totalitarian, total dictatorship you want, then also you can take inspiration from him. And if you are a socialist, let's say you are Nehru, then also you can take inspiration from him. Who? Rousseau. No भाई ऐसा क्या बोला है that everybody can take inspiration from him, and you are not able to put him in one block कि भाई he is a socialist thinker, he is a liberal thinker. You cannot. So understand what the issue was. So his thinking, if you let's try to understand his thinking. So if you understand Rousseau's thinking, he gave very important notion to your psychology. Psychology of whom? Obviously of a man. Now see, this will be happening always throughout. Whenever there will be too much change, a time will come when you will say that I want old things back. I need my old ways back. We have seen this happen in, I think, first or second class. I told you this. Currently also we are having too much globalization. So इसलिए everybody is wanting to go back to their old ways. USA wanting to go back to its isolationist policies before World War. India wants to go towards Hindutva. ठीक है. Allahabad becoming Prayagraj. Ayodhya becoming, oh sorry, your what is Ayodhya's area? Faizabad becoming Ayodhya. So you see, we are trying to go back to our old ways. That happens. Similarly, too much thoughts have been changed. Too much thinkings have been changed. And now Rousseau is coming, and Rousseau is saying that yeah, man is not happy with too much changes. ठीक है, nation state concept is emerging, modernization is happening. ठीक है, चर्च का रोल जो है has been limited, इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन हो रहा है, ठीक है, they were also living in villages and everything, but now urbanization is going to take place due to industrialization. So understand, man is in trouble, and according to him there is no issue with man. Man is always good, man is not at all bad. तो भाई bad तो we see, people killing and everything. So why is that happening? Because society society is bad. ठीक है, so what is he doing is technically he is acknowledging the बदलाव, he is acknowledging change. ठीक है, that too much change is going happening and we need our old ways back. Now what is old way, what is current way? Nation state. What was the old way? State of nature. Now this is your old way, this is your current way. Is it possible to go from here to there state of nature में? ऐसे कौन करता है? Who does it like this? Now understand, state of nature also you were living in peace, you were free, you could do whatever you want, you were the sovereign. Here you are to abide with laws made by state, they are called positive laws. Are you free to do anything that you want? No. Here, are you free to do anything that you want? Yes. Here, are you happy? No. Here, are you happy? Yes. What is the purpose of life? Purpose of life is to be happy. Where are you happy? You are happy here. You are not happy here. Reason? Society. Now, what do we do? Can we go back to state of nature? That is not practical and possible. ये तो बेवकूफ़ी है इतनी मेहनत से. You have been here. Going back to state of nature is stupidity. So what do we do? What do we do? We will need some changes. We will need some changes in the system. We will try to understand how can we be happy with this system also. Okay, so understand this thing. Man was born free, but everywhere in chains. Are you born free? You are born free, but as soon as you are born, you are brought up in a institution of family, institution of marriage. You are made to go to school. There you understand discipline. What is discipline? Nothing, but you are made to believe that it is for your own good, but actually it is for the goods of other. ठीक है, so that they can control you better, but you think that it is a good thing. This is all a narrative according to Rousseau. ठीक है, you are not free. Discipline is just opposite of free. It is not for you, it is for others to live in harmony. Now try to understand, state of nature you do not want to go. The only option that it remains with you is that here you become free. Now how do you do that? So first try to understand how were you free in state of nature. But before state of nature, what we have to understand? Nature of man. So nature of man is that he is good, he love everyone, he love himself, and because he love others, that feeling is called as sympathy. He is sympathetic to others. Understand state of nature? State of nature is life of man before civilization. Before civilization started, what was life of man? It was happy, he was free. ठीक है. For Hobbes, state of nature was state of war. For Locke, state of nature was state of peace. For Rousseau, state of nature is state of bliss, blissful. Okay, let's say ignorance is bliss. So obviously, people are ignorant before civilization and they are in bliss. That makes perfect sense. And because it is making perfect sense, the state of nature is also a state of perfect freedom, or let's say perfect happiness, because you derive your happiness when you are free. If you have perfect freedom, it means you have perfect happiness. As simple as that. Now try to understand. Then how come the problem started? Before civilization, there is no issue. You are happy, you are completely free, perfect, in fact. So problem will start after civilization. Now understand what is new thing that is coming to define civilization. Reason. When people will start taking numbers into account, as soon as you have numbers and reasons, you will start applying rationality. ठीक है? Rationality का मतलब है calculated mind. Calculated mind will always talk about two things: profit and loss. So every relationship that you have, you maintain, you consider it into notions of profit and loss, and this is where the problem starts. So understand, if you are just talking about profit and loss, that is, let's say this is a dog, this is a dog, and you provide him some food, he will eat this food. Okay, let's say his stomach is full now, will he keep on eating? No, he will stop, but let's consider a man, he has two homes. ठीक है, then he has a mall, then he has his own petroleum workshop, then he starts a telecom network also, let's call it Geo. Is he stopping? No, he is not stopping. $100 billion net worth of Bill Gates. Is he stopping? Jeff Bezos. Is he stopping? No, nobody is stopping. Mark Zuckerberg. Is he stopping? No, nobody is stopping. Animals are stopping when their stomach is full. But you have so much wealth you acquire, yet you are not stopping. So understand, man was a noble savage. Definitely you were a savage, you were eating like this and then going ahead, then you will be eating, but you were noble. This was when state of nature. But when you are in state now and you have started using reason and rationality, that means you have started thinking. ठीक है, state में rationality is there, rational thinking is there, reason is there, and you have started thinking, so everything you are thinking is in terms of profit and loss. And who are you? Man. So a thinking man is like a depraved animal. Very, very true. Not even animal. You are like depraved animal. Not stopping. Never satisfied. So even though when in state of nature you were savage, you were not civilized. This is before civilization. So you are uncivilized. Yet you are happy. You are good. right? But when you come to state or civilization, you are very much, as they said, they civilized white man. You are civilized, but yet you are reduced to a level of depraved animal, if that makes sense. What is the purpose of life? Happiness. Happiness is a feeling of feeling satisfied. Are you satisfied? No, you are not satisfied. Even with five home, even with one antila, you are not satisfied. ठीक है? Because you are not satisfied, you are never happy. Now, why is this? Rationality, reason, profit loss, मेरा तेरा, mine and thine. This is the reason. Okay. So understand that for Rousseau, the modern civilization, that is our state, is reducing our freedom, is reducing our happiness. It is not helping. Too much changes have taken place. Now, he's also a social contract thinker. Now, understand his contract theory. First thing that you would ask is, then why would man enter into this contract, since in present life you are not able to find happiness, you are not at all free? So why would you enter a contract? See, only two options you have. Either you go back to state of nature to be happy, which is the purpose of life, but this is not practical. State of nature में going back is not possible. You cannot go home. You cannot ever go home. For you, what is your home? Not where you are living currently. Your home will be what you feel like home. Your home will be where you were brought up, your childhood home, childhood place. Maybe you were born in Indore, then shifted to, let's say, Delhi. Okay, your home is Indore, but you will never go there. Even if you go there, you will not able to find it. It would have been, let's say, things would have been changed. There would be new shops nearby, there would be new people living nearby. It won't be the same place. It is not home. You can never go back home. So what the other option remains with you is that whatever is the current scenario, you make changes into it. Now what changes can you make into it? Changes so that your freedom is not limited, because if your freedom is not limited, you will become happy. You are happy when you're free. So here he tries to give the concept of real will. Understand, state of nature mein man was happy. Why? Because you were free. Free to do what? To do whatever you wish. That is your will. मर्जी, अपनी मर्जी, मेरी मर्जी. You were allowed to do that. Hence you were free, and because you were completely free, you were totally happy. So if you want to live in this state, and if you have to follow laws, you are limited by laws in your actions, what you can do and not do. ठीक है? But let's say if these laws are made by you only, then will you be happy? This is almost as same as state of nature. Yes, it makes sense. If I am creating law, if I am creating law, what will I use? My will. कि भाई I want मेरी मर्जी in law. So you are abiding with laws that you have only made. You will feel happy. Now understand this thing. You need to be present while making law. You need to, let's say if he is not happy with what you are suggesting, then you debate with each other. What kind of process is this? This is a process of participatory democracy, participatory deliberative democracy. Understand? Rousseau was a person who was raised near Geneva, and Geneva में the polity structure was very much like our Indian village panchayat system. So technically, how Gandhi was proclaiming his views forward. Village polity, what is it like? Village panchayats. That is direct direct democracy, grassroots. Everyone is engaged. Everyone is a participator in the democratic process, in creating law, in execution. Okay, so he was brought up like that, seeing these things. Now he is in France. He is not happy with whatever is going on. He would like that only, right? Every person is a child of his time. He has seen that thing and he's seeing that why people are not very happy. Why? Because according to him, laws they are not creating. They have no involvement in that. So what his prescription is? Participatory deliberative democracy. That is direct democracy. Understand again. Understand again one thing. State of nature is not an option. You have to make changes to current system. And current system में why you are not happy? Because you are not free. Why you are not free? Because you are bound to follow laws. But let's say if these laws are created by you only, then how can you say that you are not free? You have only imposed those restrictions, those laws on you. Then you are free because you are fine with that. I am fine. I have created that law. Let's say if you have to go to office and office says that by 4 a.m. you have to come here and then you have to go at 9 p.m. You won't ever feel happy. But let's say if the office hour says that you need to decide yourself which 8 hours you want to work, and you say okay, I will work from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m., then you will be happy because you have imposed this time limit on you. Okay, now understand his contract. Contract needs to be changed. Contract is the process which is giving powers, terms and condition for state. So understand his contract. People will come and they will establish, they will talk everyone कि भाई what do we have to do, what do we have to not do. ठीक है, for contract. What will everyone be using? Their real will. Everyone is using their real will. Now let's say his real will is X, his real will is Y, his real will is Z, X1, Y1, Z1. Then you add the real will of everyone. X plus Y plus Z plus X1 plus Y1 plus Z1. And you divide, you take the average. 6. Whatever will be the result will be your general will. Because real will is of one person. But when you have to take what is the will of all of these, So you take into account all of the real will of everyone, you divide by the number of people, you get your general will, basically average. Okay, for that process also you need to be present first, you need to be a participation, you need to take participation into it, the process of contract. So the sum of your real will equals to your general will. Now let's say if general will is saying that okay, state can do this, state can make laws on this topic, land, state can make laws regarding river water disputes, then bhai you need to be happy na, because you have only given this will. General will is representing sum total of all the real will of the people. ठीक है? And you will be free, and because you will be free you will be happy. If that thing is clear, understand, the laws that are now being created are self-made laws. Although state is creating laws, but yet they are self-made laws, because you, with your general will, what is the platform of parliament doing? Obviously we are now 1.35 billion people, not all of us can go and meet at a place, ठीक है? ऐसा हो नहीं सकता, this is not possible. Hence we try to send someone that we feel is the best person to raise our issues, and that person is making sure that भाई your Indore or let's say your Delhi का भी छोटा constituency एक, that he will lay forward your issues there in the parliament, and then after the whole deliberation an average would be taken where majority are consenting कि हाँ भाई चलो ये कर लेते हैं, that will be a law. So you are participating technically, this makes sure what, that you are making the laws, hence you need to be happy. Then there is another concept, actual will. But before that, try to understand. We have seen general will is your sum total of real will. Real will is individualistic in nature, and you are using that for your contract. Now, general will, can you ask what is the general will? No, you cannot ask. Can you ask your real will? Yes, you can. So, try to think general will. General will is a will of lot of people. You can have methodology how to get general will, debate, etc., deliberative, participatory, but it is yet just a philosophical concept. It is not a real thing. Real will is a real thing. Why? Because I am a person and I have a real will. I know what needs to be done for my benefit or for my freedom or for my liberty. But general will is a philosophical concept. It does not really exist. You make it make it come into existence. Okay. And what is the property of general will? There are properties of general will. Properties are that general will is always good, always right. It is always universal, not for specific people. Universal. It is always good, always right. So, kind of, do you see how he has See, theory is nothing but justification. But very smartly, he is making us believe that it is justified the state ka created law is always good and right. Why? Because according to him, we ourselves, with our collective real will, emerging as a general will, is making up those laws that we need to follow, which are always good and always right. Why? Because arey bhai, we only are creating those. So justification is clear that state ka law you need to follow. State is creating a law which, according to him, people only are using with their collective real will as a general will. Now, this general will only is what will be creating law. State is what? General will, collection of your real will. So, you need to follow this law. Why? Because it is always good, always right. Now, why do you need to follow these laws? Understand, in state of nature, you were free. Why? Because you can do whatever was your real will. Whatever was your real will, man was doing that, and hence he was free. Now, let's say these are the people in state. What is your real will? Tell me. Your real will is here somewhere. Your real will. And your real will सबकी add करी, average निकाला, and it is general will. And general will is making law. General will कुछ नहीं है. Collection of real will. So you were free in state of nature when you were following your real will. Here, if you need to be free, what do you need to do? Follow your real will. What is your real will? Your real will is collected together and general will, then it was law. So your law is representing your real will. So if you follow the law, then you are free. ठीक है? So very smartly he has made sure that you understand that to be free you need to follow law. पहले ही बता देता एक शब्द में, but no, mathematics करानी है. Understand? State of nature, you were free because you were following your real will. If you are not following your real will, you are not free. Here, if you have to be free, you have to follow real will. Real will ka sum total is general will. That general will is law. If you follow the law, you will be free. So man should be forced to be free. If you need to be free, what do you need to do? You need to follow law, because law is representing your real will ka sum total, that is general will. General will is just lots of real will. When you follow your real will, you are free. So if man has to be free, he needs to follow law. And because man is, let's say, not uh, following law, not freeing himself, you should be free, right? So you need to be forced. How forced? Punishment. अचानक से what do you recollect? Hobbes. So see, you started as man is good and everything. Last में you are coming back to giving power of punishment. You are justifying. You are justifying punishment, power of state. You are justifying why man is needing to follow law. So Hobbes Hobbes also was doing this thing only. ठीक है, Hobbes was also doing the same thing. So very near to Hobbes he comes in his ideas. Okay, if that thing is, you open your NCERT, in the left page you will find your preamble of Constitution of India. See the words there. We, the people of India, Bharat, give ourselves on this pristine जो भी time है, date है, this constitution to ourselves. We, the people. So who is giving us, let's say, what is preamble? What is constitution? It is a contract. It is your social contract. Who are the members participating in that contract? People. Was it forced upon us? No, we only gave it ourselves. If we are giving it ourselves with our real will, which, because we are not talking about one person, we are talking about lot of people, so we will call general will. अरे तो भाई, to be free we need to follow constitution, we need to follow that book, we need to follow constitution. Why? To be free. इससे होगा क्या? बट फ्री से you will be happy, which is what purpose of life. Okay, so let's say this is a state and it is punishing you, it is fining you because you are not wearing helmet over a motorcycle, let's say. Is it justified? Yes, it is justified because there is a law and you are not following that law. ठीक है, motor vehicle act, you are not following that law. This means that you are not free, which means you are not happy. Now I want you to be free and happy. How do I do that? I will punish you. I will punish you. It is a means to me, for me, to force you into following this law so that you can be free and happy. I know this makes very, see the paradox. How did you start and how did you conclude? This is paradox. बोल तो तू रहा था इंसान के बारे में, बात अब हो रही है स्टेट की, फुल पावर एंड पनिशमेंट. नाउ freedom, liberty. So we see that Rousseau is very much concerned about your concept of liberty. It is a means to attain happiness. Now, what are his views on property? Liberty to you need to achieve happiness. What is his views on property? So for him, property is needed for a good life. You can have a life, you can have a happy life, but if you need a good life, you need property. Makes sense? Then at the same time, he is also saying that property, not just any property, private property, can cause social inequality. क्योंकि if you have a property, large property, and other has, let's say, no property, then social inequality will come. His family will not get educated much, your family will keep on rising and rising. ठीक है? So this aspect, let's say, property is needed for good life. Who will take inspiration from this? Capitalists can take inspiration from this. Private property will also lead to your social inequality. This part, who will try to use it? Socialist. देखो, Rousseau also is saying social inequality will rise with private property. Let's ban property. ठीक है. See, both classes. Hence we call him thinker of paradoxes. A very paradoxical thinker. Very inconsistent. Now let's see his views on democracy. So obviously he lived in Geneva, where there was grassroots democracy, which is a form of direct democracy just like our Panchayati Raj system. So he was obviously very much influenced by that polity. And according to him, man is free when you follow your real will, which is general will, sum total of real will, which is what law is. So those who will be favoring democratic values, for those who is Rousseau is God. अरे भाई रूसो बोल रहा है फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन let's try to bring in a democratic polity. But let's say I am a Hitler, I am Mussolini. How will I take inspiration from him? How will I quote him in my answer? Let's say Hitler is writing UPSC. He needs to tell कि भाई why totalitarianship. So he will be using scholar name and quotation. How will he do? Understand? State is representing your general will. General will is always right. Which means state is always right. LHS equals to RHS. Okay. Now, man should be free. How to make him free? You force him to follow law. Why? Because state is creating law, which is always right, because it is made by general will, which is always right. So you need to be forced to be free. Let's say if I ban internet, if I ban telecommunication in Jammu Kashmir, it is general will of people. You do not understand right now. To be free, you need to be compelled to follow law. ठीक है? Then only you can be free and later happy. Otherwise, you will be constantly joining Mujahideen, etc. ठीक है? Now, understand what did just happen. Plato, Aristotle, Machiavelli, Hobbes, Locke. Plato was an idealist. After that, who do you see as an idealist? Nobody is. He was a very pragmatic figure, balanced. He was neither idealist nor realist. More leaning towards realist, but again, he had a very balanced. He incorporated both. Machiavelli, power realist, power view of politics he gave. Realist basically. Hobbes, again, realist. Locke, what was Locke talking about now? Wasn't it quite realist? No philosophy, no idea. Then come Rousseau, and he will bring back idealism, brotherhood, fraternity. Okay, what is this? Brotherhood and fraternity. very big ideas they are. So because he is trying to mix idealism, idealism is always about ought to be, कैसा होना चाहिए, not about कि कैसा है, how it should be. So ethics he is trying to incorporate in between. Okay. Now think contradictions in Rousseau's theories. At one time you are champion of liberty. Champion of liberty, so definitely you can call him liberty, fraternity, equality. Big names, big slogans, all due to Rousseau. French Revolution, very big turning point in history. Liberty, freedom. You are a champion of liberty, but you are using this champion of being champion of liberty or freedom to give forward your notion of why you can be forced to follow law, because you are saying this is created by you only with general will, which is sum total of real will. With this, what I have done is I have given a justification for totalitarianism. I started with champion of liberty, but I ended up giving up justification for Hitler. What was Hobbes doing? He started as an individualist, ended up with an absolute state, Leviathan. Is totalitarian state absolute? Total, personal sphere, public sphere, both. Absolute you are. Your law is supreme, absolute. So Hobbes' Leviathan and Rousseau's general will both start with something else, end up concluding at absolute powers, or let's say justification for punishment or justification for why you can be forced. ठीक है. Leviathan में you are saying the covenants without swords are nothing but just words. Here you are saying man should be forced to be free. Both mean the same thing. Correct or not? Understand role of manipulation. It is not that Rousseau is trying to do this. It is that totalitarian leaders, you are politicians, you need to quote some important figure, let's say Rousseau. So what we will try to do? You will try to manipulate what he has said to justify your absolute powers because you are state. ठीक है. So it should not be right, absolutely right, or it should not be very just if we start saying that Rousseau was giving totalitarian concept. No, he was not trying to give it. But yes, they have been manipulated to look like that. Okay, because understand one key thing that they overlook, one key thing that you always overlook when giving justification for totalitarian from Rousseau is that bhai Rousseau also said this thing na, that deliberative, participatory, You are, let's say, Hitler, one person, you are saying that भाई देख रूसो कह रहा है to make you free you need to follow law because state represent general will. अरे जनरल विल तो तब ना जब रियल विल का सम टोटल which will only happen when you have a deliberative participatory democracy. Nowhere is he saying that one person is ruling you for 20 years and whatever he is commanding is absolute and you need to be forced to follow that rule because it is representing general will. He is not saying that ever. You are manipulating that by totally omitting this thing which should not be like that. ठीक है? Very key word, very key element of Rousseau's theory is deliberative participatory democracy because he was very much influenced from Geneva ka village panchayat system, that is grassroot democracy. Okay, so in fact your Rousseau is very much near to your Gandhian philosophy. Gandhi was talking about village democracy. Okay, will of people all participating. रूसो भी तो यही कहता है. You are just manipulating. ठीक है? So it would not be very right to call him totalitarian. You are just using him to forward your agendas, which is what politicians do. Now let's talk about consociational. Now what is consociational? Keyword is consensus. What is consensus? Everybody is in agreement. All in agreement. When all are in agreement, then it becomes your general will. How will you all come in agreement? First, you are participating. You will understand what issues are there, what logic he is facing, what logic he is implementing, and then you will come up with something that everyone is fine with. Everyone is okay. Everyone is okay. Everyone is okay. This is consociational consensus. Let's talk about what goes on in our parliament. Our parliament, if a bill needs to be passed, you can easily pass it. Let's say 10 people are there, they will vote. If 6 say yes, then the bill becomes law, or at least it can go to next Rajya Sabha and then to the president for consent. But you see what this was. This is majoritarian. This is majoritarian. Majority. You are just needing a majority. Now, 4 are not happy with it, but they are also supposed to follow it. This is not what Rousseau's way is. ठीक है? So understand democracy as tyranny of majority. Ayodhya, is every party happy? No, not every party is happy. JNK, is every party happy? No, not every party is happy. Now, tyranny of majority, only 6 okay are enough. 4 can keep on crying. Making sense or not? Tyranny of majority, dadagiri of majority, gundagardi of majority. Is it democracy? Understand one thing. These 4 people, it is not like you were not asked what your issues are. You were given a platform. You were given a platform, that is parliament, and you were allowed to raise your issues. Even though the law is not coming as to what you want, you were given equal opportunity to put forward your notions and your understanding of the issue that you want to make changes in the form of the bill, right? So it is not completely right to call it tyranny of majority also. Tyranny tab hogi na jab only 6 are present and they are forming law for these 4 also. You 4 are also present, you are just not able to get people in your favor. So it is not completely right with that. This is our representative democracy. Obviously, because not everyone can participate, not everyone can come from their home, and not 1.35 billion people. Let's say कि चलो कितने एलिजिबल होंगे, मान लो 80 crores. So do you really think you can create a stadium where 80 crore people can come and start coming to consensus? 80 crore unique persons, it is not practical to get a consensus. So you try to accept majority, this is faster, and at least you are given प्लेटफॉर्म कि भाई अपनी प्रॉब्लम बोल लो तुम, ठीक है. Ordinance, you know, ordinance is something that gets passed when the session is not in place. Lok Sabha session is not there, you need to make a law into effect. How do you do that? President will pass an ordinance. It is a temporary law that you pass when there is no parliament session ongoing. Now, how many people were involved in this? One, two, how many? Let's say prime minister and president, major. प्राइम मिनिस्टर का अपना कैबिनेट, उसके ऊपर कोई नहीं. So is it very democratic in nature? So yes, it is not very democratic in nature. Not very democratic in nature. But is it necessary? Yes, definitely necessary. Let's say you are going at war, there is no parliament, or you will not wait na कि parliament will come in session, then you will declare war, you will pass an ordinance. But yes, overuse you sometimes do of this ordinance, like JNK, to keep it under governor's rule, you keep on doing that. But yet it is a man's problem, I guess, to use anything in excess. But it is not very democratic. And if you look at our, we are what? Representative democracy. Representation, keyword represent, which means that I am Aditya, but I am not in parliament. I have my representative in parliament from my constituency here, ठीक है, in Delhi. My candidate would be there in parliament who would be talking about things that have direct impact on me, ठीक है, my locality, my constituency. Get it? It is a representative. But understand this thing, our electoral system, our election process is such that not 100% people vote first thing. Let's say 100% eligible voters, they do not vote. 30-40% also vote, and those only are sending people here. So representative, let's say if I have not voted, but from my constituency there is a person, is he my representative? No. So this is also an issue, ठीक है, or you can call it a very noble lie that we are a successful democracy. We are a very stupid democracy where handful of people, and that too mostly villagers, because they are most impacted, ठीक है, and especially these Hindu fanatics, they are voting, ठीक है, villages, farmers, they vote. Middle class especially do not vote. Middle class is too much engaged with their day-to-day activities. They are like अरे आ जाए जो भी. They are self-reliant. They do not depend upon state too much. Below middle class, they are directly dependent upon state, so they vote. Upper class, they do not vote. They are not many as such also. Plus, they are the ones who are providing funding to us as to who will be the next prime minister or candidate. Okay, running political parties. Anyhow, consociational consensus. Now, this is what Rousseau's way is, that you consent. Now, tell me, is it possible in a representative democracy like ours? We have a representative democracy. We do not have direct democracy, obviously. It is not practical. So, representative democracy mein we will have a leader. Who is he? Prime Minister Modi. Now, let's say if Modi wants, can he make sure कि भाई चलो we will make laws on consensus? He can definitely do. But is he doing that? No. What does he do? He do whatever he wants because he is in majority. So tyranny of majority, if you want to see, you see the previous Lok Sabha session. ठीक है. The opposition are handful and they have no role now in the passing of bill because you are in clear majority. That is not good for you, but obviously one एक अगर good thing you want to see from it is that effectiveness. Hitler was very effective, to be very honest. See, when efficiency you're talking about, lesser the people making decision, more the effectiveness. But again, the dar is too much that they will become too much corrupt because absolute power corrupts absolutely. ठीक है. चलो, anyhow, moving forward. Moving forward, we have nothing. We will start with John Stuart Mill. But I guess before that, I need to make you understand two, three things more. Wait 1 second. I think I marked something for you. Tacit and facet. I think you are not done, right? Before that, you understand this thing. Explicit and tacit. See, will and consent. Understand this thing. What is will? Is what you want actually. Consent is you can give consent to your murder also. You can give consent to you being robbed also. Can I rob you? You give consent. ठीक है. Will is which you want. So, but irreplaceably you can try to understand those two things, but not completely irreplaceable. They are explicit consent and tacit consent. Explicit consent is the consent that signifies your majority population, and tacit consent is the one that is represented by your minority population. So let's say BJP, whatever BJP is doing, what they are representing is explicit consent of the nation. That is, majority wants that whatever BJP is doing. Then who will be representing minority, or let's say tacit consent? Those who have not supported BJP, opposition. Opposition will be representing your tacit consent. Explicit plus tacit is the total consent of a nation. Okay. So in other words, you can say explicit consent is your government. Tacit consent is your parliament minus ruling party. रूलिंग पार्टी कौन सी होगी? गवर्नमेंट वाली पार्टी. Okay, so that point I wanted to take after Rousseau. And understand this is Locke's explicit consent, tacit consent, because he was the one who was separating judiciary, executive, legislative right, giving it to state. Okay, what was the process of revolution for him? Election. Now when you will do election, who will form the government? Whoever will be getting the majority, that is the explicit consent. As simple as that. Okay, and you understand what Locke is? We have done it. Limited state. Okay, night watchman. Try to understand with night watchman, you will be recollecting what he wanted. So if that is clear, let's try to begin. So if anyone is liberal, it is Mill. John Stuart Mill. Now we are going to see things that will make sense. See, from Rousseau now you see that we are trying to see things that make sense in our polity also. Aristotle, Plato, वो जो बोल रहे थे, that was not making sense in our life. But now we will be talking about things that will start making sense in current life also. And if anyone is if anyone is liberal, it is Mill. Now what does this mean? Who was John Locke? Again, John Locke, Thomas Locke. We have studied Locke. Was he or was he not liberal? Believing in freedom? Understand this thing? You wanted to give liberty as one of the three. Absolute right. You were who? Locke. You were talking about liberty, yes, but you limited your liberty only till property. कि भाई property होनी चाहिए. Why? Because you are a capitalist. You are forwarding the philosophies of capitalist, emerging capitalist class. You need to have security for property, and this is what you are considering liberty. It is your liberty. You are limiting it. ठीक है? The notion of liberty is very big. Article 21. So understand this thing. You cannot talk about liberty and not talk about freedom of speech and expression. When we talk about freedom, the one thing that we need the most is speech, because even if I have no money, even if I am poor, if even if I am poor farmer, the only power that I have, that is very very extreme, it can topple governments, it can topple regimes, is speech. When I say that I have been robbed by this current government, the government will topple, bhai. But if I am not able to talk like that, if I am not even allowed to raise my issues, then you will always have a Putin, you will always have a Xi Jinping. You raise your issues there and you will be gone tomorrow. Nobody will be able to locate your body. Okay? So you cannot. Locke was talking about liberty, but it was not complete liberty. He was using liberty to justify property and property ki safety, etc. because capitalists wanted that. So obviously, whoever will include freedom of speech and expression in the context of liberal philosophy, that person will be important. And who is that? Mill, John Stuart Mill. So if anyone is liberal, it is Mill. We have seen people talking about liberty, but nobody is giving enough justification for freedom of speech and association. And liberty is something, Article 21 of Indian Constitution. I think three times in prelims, direct question Article 21, whether this thing, right to food, right to life, right to marry anyone from any caste or religion, these are all under the ambit of your Article 21, even in your right to privacy. Okay, so your liberty is a very big dimension and many things are kept on adding into it. Now understand. You go through Article 19 also. Article 19 and 21 are both need to be read together sometimes. Trinity, Article 14. Okay, so you make sure you read your polity first, because otherwise you will face problems only, nothing else. Okay, so John Stuart Mill, if one word that you have to understand, but you will get confused. The problem is that you will get confused with Rousseau now. But yet, you have to understand John Stuart Mill as champion of democracy. See, Rousseau was also talking about democracy, but his democracy was not very practical. He wanted direct democracy, participatory democracy, not representative democracy. Okay, so do not get confused with Rousseau. He wants democracy, and his democracy is complete. Why? Because he is talking about rights also. And when you are talking about rights, you are not, let's say if there is voting right, you are not limiting your voting right to just men. You are also talking about women and equal rights for women. ठीक है? So in this regard we see that his theory is very much complete. So what we are going to study? Theory of liberty. ठीक है? And how, what will be the prism? How will we be trying to see it? From the prism of rights, from the prism of women rights. ठीक है? Now in current days, one question from women, or let's say feminism, definitely come. One question is definitely coming every time. So we will try to do that also. Then again, Very inconsistent. Very inconsistent thinker. Because you are being called as prophet, Messiah. Prophet is messenger of empty liberty. I just said that his liberty is complete. He has tried to incorporate freedom of speech also, but yet he has been called prophet of empty liberty. We are going to see why. And he has also been known as your reluctant Democrat. You are forwarding the notions of democracy. You are being called a champion of democracy, yet you are hesitant. You are reluctant. So we try to understand these things. Very inconsistent. Mill was influenced by this one person and his philosophy, who he treated as his master. Now, who was this person? Bentham. Now, what Bentham's gave was utilitarianism. He had a theory of utilitarian philosophy which revolved around pleasure and pain. Okay, man does whatever gives him pleasure and do not do whatever gives him pain, like punishment or not following law. Now, let's say there is this apple and there is cactus. Cactus is like this, thorns. What would you eat? This eating this will give you pleasure. Eating this will give you pain. ठीक है? It is cactus. It is apple. Who is saying this? Let's say Bentham. Pleasure, pain. You are man. What will you eat? You will eat this. Why? Because apple can give pleasure, so apple is right. Whatever is right gives you pleasure. Whatever is wrong will give you pain. Cactus, you will not eat it. Now, understand this thing. Utilitarianism. Utility. We have read this, heard this, understood this very efficiently before. But Bentham is talking about only in two things, pleasure and pain, right and wrong. Now, why is he doing this? So simply because he believes that man is not capable of understanding this tough concept of utility, that man will try to go for utility. उसको फिर पूरा समझाओ कि मैन इज सेल्फलेस, उसको ह्यूमन नेचर समझाओ, स्टेट ऑफ नेचर समझाओ, इतना ड्रामा नहीं चाहिए. So we are going to understand things with pleasure and pain. And because he is talking about only in two, right and wrong, black and white, ठीक है, this is why we call Bentham's philosophy as pig's philosophy. If that makes any sense. Okay, now understand you are being called, your theory is being called as pigs. That is कि भाई pigs do that, right? eating what they want, not eating what is not suiting them. You are treating animal with man is very unacceptable. So what you will try to do, let's say this is your master's theory, what you will try to do as a student, you will try to make sure that I will do some changes to this theory so that I can forward the notion of utilitarianism. ठीक है, because मेरे मास्टर को ऐसे बोल रहे हैं लोग that it is a pig's philosophy. But what you will end up doing is destroying utilitarianism. You will want, who are you? You are Mill. You will want to explain utilitarianism easily that your master has been describing. Who is your master? Bentham. You are very influenced by him. So you think that I should be defending Benthamism or utilitarianism, but you will end up destroying. Inconsistent. भाई करना क्या चाह रहा था, कर क्या रहा है? Very inconsistent. And when we'll see in the reasons कि ऐसा हुआ क्यों, why is this happening, so we understand कि Bentham is not the only master that he has other master also, and especially whom? Plato, Socrates. And when we talk about Plato and Socrates, idealism comes. World of ideas, what ought to be. And because obviously when you are talking about utilitarianism and trying to change the theory, how you will try to change the theory? By incorporating ideas of Plato के idea are थोड़े ought to be वाले. So do you think Plato का idealism and reality are consistent? No, they are not consistent. Reality is different thing, idea is different thing. If we'll try to incorporate idea की चीज़ें in reality, then it won't make sense, reality. Similarly, utilitarian is a reality world concept. If you are trying to incorporate Plato के idealism, you will destroy it eventually. ठीक है? Now, understand this thing. Why are we focusing so much on utilitarianism? Because this is the philosophy that is laying forward the notions, or let's say all the predicaments of capitalist class. This is the sole justification that they have for all their endeavors. This is the justification for them living in big mansions, homes. Meanwhile, lots of workers are working. What you are doing? Exploiting them. What is your justification? Bhaiya, utilitarianism. So, all you know is two things, profit and loss. ठीक है? So, Mill has also been called the Peter who denied his master. Jesus Christ had lots of apostles. One of them was Peter. When Jesus Christ was being hanged, Peter had an option of letting him go, saving him, but he did not. He denied his master freedom, or let's say life, or saving. So Mill has been described as Peter who denied his master, because Bentham ka utilitarianism he started defending because people were calling it fixed philosophy, but he ended up destroying it. He started with कि चलो मैं बताता हूँ कैसे Bentham is right, but you ended up explaining how utilitarian is wrong. If that makes any sense. This was just an introduction. We will start in next class only. Okay. So you try to not ever get confused in these things. Materialist, or I will try to make sure that I take up all these things. Materialism, materialist, individualist, individualist, materialist, individualist, utilitarian. Who is the utilitarian thinker that we have read till now? Individualist, materialist. Who was Machiavelli? Who was Hobbes? Who was Locke? ठीक है, you try to do this अच्छे से. You should be able to know, and it is not that all are separate. Sometimes there is an overlap also, so try to understand that thing. ठीक है, चलो, bye bye.